In the previous session, we started off with the registration of a single GIIN that reports to multiple regulatory authorities. We registered a new user as the checker user and added the central bank as the RA, which then got approved by the central bank as the checker user. In this session, we will be covering the single GIIN to multiple RA, where the checker has been approved by the primary RA, in this case, the central bank, and we are able to go in and register and view the subsequent sub-GIIN registrations. To begin with, we have logged into the checker user, which has been approved by the central bank. We are able to see, as demonstrated in the previous video, that the primary RA, the central bank, and the additional regulatory authority, which is the ESCA. A secondary GIIN has been generated, and we will continue with the registration. To demonstrate, if you have already registered, you are able to go into the My Info page and edit the details and add multiple RAs. In this case, we will click on ADGM, Abu Dhabi Global Market, and add it as an additional RA for our checker user. Once we are done, we will click on done, and a prompt will show that the organization details will lock all the maker and checker accounts, and the central bank as the primary RA will once again have to approve the account for us to be able to log in, view the subsequent GIINs generated for the ADGM and ESCA, and then create the checker and maker accounts for each respective regulator, which will require further approval. We confirm the changes and use our password as verification to confirm. We have successfully been logged out, and the RA will now approve the registration. Once the central bank has approved the registration and unlocked the account, we will then be able to log back into the checker account that was previously used to add all the RAs, with the central bank being the primary RA and ESCA and ADGM being the additional RAs that we have added. We have logged back into the account, and we will navigate to the My Info page and view the entity details. Here we can see that the central bank has now approved our account, unlocked it, and we're able to view that the ESCA and ADGM secondary GIINs have been generated. And now we will continue with the checker and maker registrations for both of these GIINs for these respective RAs, which will then go for approval to the ESCA and the ADGM. To do this, we will have to create new users. We will start with a new user registration, reporting entity, and use our new logins. You will need a new email ID for each of these checker and maker users. We will start with the ESCA checker account. Once again, we will continue with the standard registration of a single FI. And now, in this case, we will be using the GIIN that has been generated by the system. We can see that data has been found, which means that our system is linking the entity with the checker registration that has already been created. Once again, considering that this is the sub-GIIN first account, a checker account will have to be created. Once we have set the password and the security questions, we will be able to continue with the registration and complete it for ESCA. The user registration has now been successful, which means that the account will be going to ESCA for approval.